Hello guys, welcome back to our 12th class. I hope everyone is excellent and your family as well. Today's material is your notebook. Remember, write the number of the class and the date, your student's book, and your workbook. Please get ready your material. We're gonna start with your workbook, page 67. And in this time, teacher Alex is gonna guide us to work on this page, okay? So let's listen to him.
Hello everyone, how is it going? Today I bring you a new activity, okay? The activity is on your workbook, page 67, as you can see. This is the page that we're going to do. It has 3 tasks, okay? 3 activities in it. Number 7, 8, and 9. This is going to be very easy and we will finish very soon, okay? So let's start with activity 7. Activity 7 says, read the list, label them, then write 2 more examples. Lee las listas, etiquétalas, ponles un título, después escribe 2 ejemplos más, ¿ok? This is new vocabulary, ¿ok? So pay attention. As you can see, we have 5 lists, 5 listas. Number 1, we have math, science, English, music. You have to detect what are the title of this list, okay? Then you have to do the same with number 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? Once you use this box in the numbers that are here, now you will have to write 2 more examples, okay? The example could be many of them, okay? This is optionals. Maybe we don't have the same in this one, but in the first line we have to have the same, okay? I will give you 5 minutes, so pause the video and then we will do it together. Okay, now that you have finished and you play the video, we have to do it together, okay? So here I have my answers. You can pause the video and check it, or if you are fast, we can do it together, okay? So in number 1, we have math, science, English, music, okay? Matemáticas, ciencias, inglés, música. Of course, here we are talking about the subjects, okay? Las materias. And I have 2 more subjects. In my case, I wrote geography, geografía, and physical education. P. We usually say P, okay? Physical education. You can have more, okay? It's okay. Or you can have the same. It's up to you. In number 2, basketball, tennis, soccer, volleyball. Of course, we are talking about the sports, okay? And another 2 sports are golf and handball. Again, you can have other options. You can have the same. There are more sports, okay? Number 3, TV shows. In TV show, you have game show, quiz show, comedy. I wrote soap opera, las novelas, and I wrote cartoon, okay? I'm pretty sure that you know what is a cartoon, okay? Game show, un show de juegos, quiz shows. This we have a lot in the TV, the quiz show. Son de trivias, concursos, okay? Then, number 4, play the drums, tocar los tambores, la batería. write stories, read books, okay? Read books. These are hobbies, okay? So the label is la etiqueta, el título, the title is hobby. Another two hobbies are painting and cooking. Here in hobbies we have a lot, okay? We can also have sports. Here we can also have many things, okay? For example, I wrote painting, pintar, cooking, cocinar, okay? These are hobbies. We can have here also swimming, that is on sports, or we can have soccer, it's a hobby too, okay? Then writer, escritores, okay? Because here we have J.K. Rowling, maybe you know this because of Harry Potter, Jacqueline Wilson, J.R.R. Tolkien, and I wrote two more, Jorge Bucay, and the other one is Gabriel García Márquez, that maybe you know it because of the 100 años de soledad, okay? Is his book. Very good. Now let's pass to the number 8. In number 8 we have a listening, okay? We have to do this with audio. As you can see, you can find the audio. The audio is the 38, okay? It says listen, check T for true or F for false, okay? We have to listen, we can read, and then we have to listen if it's true or false, okay? As I was saying, this is in the web page that I already told you. It's in my NG Connect. I already plugged in, okay, sign in. Remember to find the audios, you have to click here, okay? Audio, not in the book, not in the covers book, okay? Here in the audio. Then we have to click in Workbook. We are going to go to Unit 8, and then we select track 38, okay? We just play it and listen, okay? Now you will have all this time. You can play it as many times as you want and try to tick or false, okay? You will have another 5 minutes to do it, okay? So pause the video and let's do it. Okay, now that you finish, let's do it together, okay? I will give you the answers and you can check or correct them, okay? Here I have it. Number 8, let's do it together. Listen, escucha, check T for true. Marca una T para verdadero, or F for false, or F para falso. Number 1 says, Marco only likes one school subject. Okay, this is false, okay? There are many that he likes, okay? Now, number 2, he thinks that most school subjects are easy. True, he says that the most school subjects are easy, just are 2 that they have, he has difficulty, okay? Do you know what are these? Very good, okay? Now, let's do number 3. Marcos watching a TV show with his sister after school. True or false? True, very good. Because he invited his friend to watch with him, okay? And with his sister. Very good. What was the show? Did you remember? Very good. Now, number 4. He's playing sports on Saturday morning. Okay, in this one, he only says in the Saturday, okay? But it's still Saturday. We don't know if it's in the morning, afternoon, or evening, but he says it's on Saturday, okay? so it's true. And number 5, Marco only has 2 hobbies. True or false? Of course, it's false. He has more than 2. Do you know what is the rest of the hobbies? Okay, very good. Now let's do the number 9. Right. Tell about your favorites. Okay, in this one, it's up to you. You can have many options. I have mine. You can have the same, but it's up to you. You can look for them in your student book, in internet. You can ask to your parents, okay? Or you can use this one, okay? The ones that we have at the top of the page, okay? But it's up to you. You have to write a school subject, the one that is your favorite. For example, I know that you here are going to write English because it's our favorite class for all of us. But if you have another one, it's good, okay? Just write it here. Then hobby, sports, TV show, writer, okay? You can write 1, 2, 3. It's up to you, okay? You have 5 minutes to do it, okay? So do it now. Okay, very good. Now, how I said, here I have my answers, but these answers are mine. You can have another one. It's optional, okay? For example, my favorite scope subject is English. My hobby, play video games, okay? Sports, I like soccer. I have another sports that I like that are my favorite, but I think soccer is my favorite one, okay? TV shows, I like the police drama, like CSI Miami, I don't know, Blind Spot, there are others. And the writers, I like Haruki Murakami, okay? You can look for it, okay? It's very good. And that will be all in my case, okay? So continue with the class. Thank you very much to paying attention. Bye.
Thank you, teacher Alex. Let's continue. Remember that we learned some ways to compare things. We have comparatives, when we compare one thing versus other thing. And remember that depending on the adjective that we're using to describe this comparison, we have the ending ER and more. ER, remember that we use it when we have adjectives that are short or when they have 1 or 2 syllables, and we use more when this adjective is with 3 or more syllables or is longer, okay? Now, also guys, we learned the superlative. Remember that here we are going to compare one thing versus other group, okay? And we are going to have 2 ways. When we use est, when we have 2 or less syllables, and when we have must, when the adjective in this superlative is longer than 3 syllables. Now let's continue with an example. For example, do you know Ricardo Farrell? This is a comedian, so he's funny. But also guys, we have other comedian. He is El Capi Pérez, maybe you know it. I think El Capi is funnier than Ricardo Farrell, but I think that the funniest person is Eugenio Derbez. As you can see guys, we're making comparisons and we have different ways. We have comparative when we are comparing 2 people or 2 things, and the superlative when we're comparing one thing versus other group. Let's continue. Sometimes we use completely different words when we compare things. Okay, we have some exceptions. For example, we have good and bad. Good, remember, that is something that you like, and bad is something that you don't like. Okay, so the first word is the adjective, good and bad. The comparative of good, guys, we're going to use better. Okay, we don't say gooder. The correct comparative is better. Okay, and the comparative for bad is not better, is worse. And the next one, guys, is the superlative. Okay, the superlative, when we're comparing one thing versus a group, is the best. Okay, and if we're comparing something with bad, is the worst. Okay, so please just remember that we changed the word. It's not gooder, it's not baddest. Okay, we have special words to compare these adjectives: better, the best, worse, and the worst. Now let's practice these adjectives on your page 84. Okay, so please open your student's book on page 84 and let's do exercise 8. Okay, in this part, guys, you have to complete the sentences. Okay, so you have to read carefully because maybe you need to use the adjective, you need to use a comparative, or you need to use the superlative. Okay, so I'm gonna help you with the first part. Okay, the first sentence. It says, I love soccer. So that means that this is something that you like. Okay, I love soccer. It is blank free time activity of all. See, this is of all, guys, is because it's a group. So what we're going to use? The adjective, the comparative, or the superlative. Remember that if we use the comparative, we need to compare one thing, other thing. Here, just we have soccer, but we don't have any other activity or thing in this part. So all we have is an activity and of all. That means that it's a group. So what we're going to use? Yes, the best. Okay, I love soccer. It is the best free time activity of all. Now, guys, please continue completing these sentences. Please read carefully the sentence and check if you need the adjective, the comparative. Remember that if we need the comparative, we have to identify the two things, one thing, other. And if we need to use the superlative, is one thing versus other group. Okay, so please stop the video and complete the sentences. Well, I hope you have finished, so let's check your answers. I'm gonna start from the beginning. I love soccer. It is the best free time activity of all. It's much blank than TV because you go out and have fun. So it's much better than. Then also, guys, is a word that we can identify to use the comparative. Okay, better than. Let's continue. I think TV is blank for your health because you don't get any exercise. TV is what? Here we're describing the TV. Okay, is it good? Is it interesting? Is it what? But it says you don't get any exercise, so it's something, yes, bad. is bad for your health. Okay, let's continue. And video games are because you don't learn anything. Are what? So here, guys, we're comparing TV, the video games, and other groups, right? So the word that we need here is the worst. Very good, guys. If you have these answers, okay? Well done. Now let's continue with exercise 9. Here, guys, it says play a game. Cut on the cards on page 111, this page, and play with a partner. Okay. But in this time we don't have your partner. Okay. So we're going to change the activity. As you can see, we have a set of 8 words, which are adjectives, and the other 8 set are things. Okay, so you're going to choose 5 words. You're going to use 5 words, and you're going to make the question and the answer. Okay, for example, it says the girl, what is the best sport? And the boy says, I think basketball is the best. Okay, so you're going to make a question and the answer. Remember that I told you that you have 2 sets, 2 groups of words. In the first word is the adjective. So in the question, guys, you have to use the adjective in a superlative way. For example, let's see. So this is my notebook and we're starting working, okay? So the number 1 that I'm gonna use is interesting, okay? The word that we're going to use is interesting. So my question is, what's the most interesting book? We're going to use the most because remember that my adjective interesting has more than 2 syllables, okay? It's a long adjective, okay? Thus we use the most. So you have to use the correct superlative way, okay? What's the most interesting? And the other word that we're going to use in this time is book, okay? That is other word that you have in your cards. And my answer is, I think The Hobbit is the most interesting book, okay? So this is an example of how you have to do this activity, okay? Remember, you choose one adjective, and then when you're doing you're making the question, you have to use it in a superlative way, okay? But check if it's a short adjective or long adjective where you have to use must or est, okay? And the answer is easier, guys, because you have to use your own information, okay? So this time we can't check your questions and answers, all this activity, because obviously you are going to have different answers, okay? So just make sure that you're doing all of these activities on your notebook and write the date of the notebook on your notebook and the number of the class, okay? Because when we go back to school, we're going to check all of these activities. Okay, let's continue with the next activity. In this time, guys, we're going to have teacher Danny working with our workbook on page 68, okay? So we're going to practice these sections of good, the best, bad, worst, and the worst on this page, okay? So please listen to her and let's practice.
Hello guys, how are you? I'm teacher Danny, and today we are going to work on pages. Okay, let's start. On page 68, we have have a grammar reference about how to speak in a positive way or in a negative way. So if you want to speak in a positive way, you can use my grades are good. I feel better than yesterday. Soccer is the best sport ever. In a negative way, you can use my grades are bad. I feel worse than ever. Soccer is the worst sport. Okay, here on exercise 10, underline the word. Complete the paragraphs. Okay, let's start to read. I have lots of brothers and sisters, and it's awesome. Also, I'm the youngest, which is... We have two options, good and bad. What do you think is the best answer? Okay, good. Which is good because everyone is nice to me. We have two options again, better and the best. Which do you think is the best answer? Yes, the best thing about big families is that you always have someone to play with. Now we have again two possible answers, worst and the worst. Which do you think is the answer? Very good. The worst thing is that you have to share a room. I wouldn't like a small family. I think that small families are much. We have two options, better and worse. Which do you think is the best answer? Very good. Okay, let's start with the second paragraph. I have and we have two possible answers, better and the best. Which do you think is the correct answer? Okay, the best family in the world. Excuse me, mom and dad. I'm the only child and it's great. I think that small families are better than big families because your parents have more time for you. Also, it's quiet at home, and that's really we have two possible answers, good and better. Which do you think is the correct answer? Very good, good. But sometimes I like brothers and sisters. You see, we have two possible answers again, bad and the worst. Which do you think is the correct answer? Very good. The worst thing about no brothers and sisters is that you have to do all the chores by yourself. Really sad, guys. Okay, let's move to exercise 11. Okay, let's start. Write your opinion about two of these topics. Okay, we have three different topics in this exercise. The check. What's the best of the worst thing about big families? What's the best or the worst thing about having many brothers and sisters? And what's the best or the worst thing about being the oldest child? Okay, on this exercise, here will be different answers. So please choose two of these topics and write them on your notebook. For example, okay, I choose only this question. What's the best or the worst about big families? Okay, in my opinion, the best thing about big families is that you are never alone. The worst thing for me is that you have to share your things or your room with someone. Guys, that's the end of this exercise. Remember that we miss you a lot. Take care and we hope to see you really soon, guys. Bye.
you so much, guys. I hope all of you have done your activities and the homeworks, and see you